Oh yeah, good afternoon. It's not morning anymore. I haven't had time to film anything because today is songwriting day and I'm supposed to be a bit of recording day as well. It's been one of the most painfully tough songwriting days in a long time. Really struggled to get the song out. It really put up a fight. But I have something, and once again we get to this point, you start feeling good about it. So I'm gonna see where it goes. Gonna go with it, and I will see what happens. Just setting up my studio ready to go here. Get the laptop fired up and everything set up so I can just hammer it out. Also running a little bit low on time, but we'll see what I can do in this limited time. I'm getting pretty good at squeezing stuff out on a tight schedule, so it's okay. Anyway, just wanted to let you know that's what's been going on all morning. That's why I haven't filmed anything else today. But we'll get this out and I'll tell you all about it along the way. You know, I don't really know how it happened or why it happened, but these days good 40% of my inspiration for all these songs actually comes from dance music. Different kind of more kind of alternative dance music, and it's funny because almost as much of that also comes from other acoustic artists and, you know, a lot of the Americana scene and all that sort of stuff. So it's a very strange mixture, but yeah, that's the way it goes. I'm multitasking at the moment, trying to get everything done in time. Hopefully I won't end up crashing anything today because I don't really have time for crashes, but we'll see how it goes. But you know what, in the end of the day I work fairly well under this pressure, so I'm just going to try to embrace this. Just kind of hope sometimes it wasn't this close call, but it's just the way it goes. Yeah, ooh, bit of sun coming out now. I haven't had time to leave the house today, so you know, sometimes this songwriting just over consumes you. You're just trying to write something, and when you try to write, like, I believe kind of struggling through it, and you know, but sometimes it's so tough. You kind of sit there and go, oh, I can't get this out, I can't get this out, I can't get this out. But I refuse to let it defeat me. Anyway, I have faith. This is gonna be a good one. Okay, in a typical JP style, I'm flying through this track. Guitar is laid down, and now I'm gonna put down the vocals, and we'll see where we are then. Whether I'm gonna redo something or... It sounded good though right now. It's a bit more up-tempo thing, which is good because a couple of the last ones have been pretty slow, so this is a bit faster. So do the vocals next. So we'll see how that goes. 1 2 1 2 1 2. It's like very often when I do these tracks, I'm literally, you know, figuring out the melody lines while I'm recording, so sometimes it's a bit of hit and miss, but please don't give up on hope. Someday so you're gonna run out of rope, and it can be hard to cope. Have a little faith in dreams. That was a very rough sketch, but I'll listen back and see which parts of it make sense and which don't. So let's have a listen. Okay, I just bounced the first mix of the track, and yeah, it's a mad one again. It put up such a big fight in the writing process, but now when we started recording, it just kind of came together like that. I don't know. I can't make sense of this anymore. It is what it is. It's sounding really, really good. It's one of those tracks that I'd really like to collaborate with a few other people to do something with it, but right now, obviously, I don't have time to do it because of the pressures of getting it out by Friday. But we might see. With all the things going on with Melocity, maybe I'll do a couple of collaborations with a few people through Melocity. We'll see. We'll see. You have to see if you can find the right people to collaborate with. But yeah, it's there. As always, it was a big struggle. Started off with a serious self-doubt, and which I've been getting lately. These funny self-doubts every every Tuesday morning when I start writing the song, which is like, after it's getting at the end of the year, it's going to be 3 years I've released a song every week. You kind of start to think about, am I out of songs? Which is obviously rubbish. You're never out of songs. So you're going to have to fight through that a little bit more. So and you go these phases of songwriting that sometimes they just pop out of you, and sometimes you really have to work on them. The thing is that very often a lot of people give up on those moments when it's tough, and they wait until the next good wave comes along, which I don't believe in. I just I struggled through it, and that's what keeps me productive and creative all the time, and that's just the way it is. Delighted that it's there, and I actually have a little bit of time to chill out for about an hour or so before I go to the Porterhouse, where I'm playing today. I think it's with Brian, O'Shea and Barra, so that should be interesting. Cool. Talk to you guys in a bit. Okay guys, we're back here on the windowsill again, and it's time to talk about this week's song. As I told you before, once again this week's song put up a big fight in the kind of writing process, but then when I got into the recording process, it just all slotted into place really nicely. It's a weird way of writing, because you're kind of under pressure for a long time, and then suddenly everything just kind of lifts off. You'd almost want to have it kind of more smoother ride through it, but hey, that's life in general. We all want a smooth ride, but rarely get it. Yeah, this week's song, again, kind of subject matter came out of nowhere, and if I learned anything out of songwriting, is that sometimes when I start writing a song, it's a very kind of set up theme that I go with. It might be a story of something, or it might be just something else that I'm kind of talking about, and there's certain set of kind of songwriting tools that are almost unconscious. They still, I'm aware of them, that you kind of write certain way, and you know that this is going to work, or this is not going to work, or now I'm talking too much about myself, where I'm actually supposed to talk about the listener. There's quite a lot of that kind of tools that you got to watch out for them, and you got to be aware of them. But then there's the other side, which is the unconscious mind, which is, you got to trust that as well. And that's when I start writing a song like this one. I start writing the song, and the song kind of takes a life of its own. It's like the lyrics just kind of, even that you got to pull them out, they do come out, and you, in the process, they might take a path of their own, which is very much what happened with this song. And you kind of go with it, and like it's not like you're not in charge at all. It's some whatever it is that songwriting creator being somewhere there, that the songs are coming, and you're just capturing them basically. And that's one way of looking at it, and that's one way it works. Now, don't take this as an excuse for like not writing, because okay, there's nothing coming. This song definitely did not feel like coming, and I was nearly this close to giving up on it, but it did, and I'm very happy with the results. So there you go. You just gotta stick with it, fight through it, write all the time. The only way to get better at it is write all the time. So this week's song, it actually ended up being about something that I feel very strongly about, just because what I've been doing for all my life, and because I had to struggle and fight against these ideas of success in our society. And the song is about a person who, as an observer, I look at them, and you can see that they have these visions that life is supposed to look like this and this and this and this. So to succeed, you have to have this, whatever it is. You have to have the education. You have to have, you have to own your own home. You have to, all these typical things. You have to have family. You have to have kids. And I can see this person struggling. I can see it's like they have this dream, which is actually built on somebody else's mold. Like it's not actually genuinely their dream, and they're not allowing themselves to dream what really is their dream. It's 2016. The world around us is changing so fast. As a creative person, when I started as a job, this like nearly 20 years ago now, you had this vision that you're gonna do this. You're gonna be a musician. You're gonna play, and that's your number one job. Now that job description is gone from, from this to like bigger than I can fit here. You gotta know, everything. And you're not only just a musician. You're the person responsible of your own career at every level of it. You gotta be able to manage yourself. Yeah, great. You might get a manager somewhere along the way, but you're still managing yourself. You got to be in charge of your finances. You got to be in charge of your promotion. You got to be in charge of your productions, your own scheduling, your own. I book my own tours, travel plans. Everything. You're responsible of everything. You're responsible of the royalty collection. Even that there's an agency that helped me to do that. I still have to submit to them everything all the time, and I have to be, there's a lot of paperwork involved, and you're responsible for your online presence, your social media, which is so important these days. This job description that was this little thing back in the day is now this massive, massive, massive thing. And that's just a little example of how the life around us has changed. Weirdly enough, I always had these visions of, there's certain things that I had interest in, which like even at a very young age back in school, I had a really interest in making videos. Granted, back then the equipment was very, very limited. I was lucky enough that in the school there was one video camera, and we had access in the larger city that we were in. All the schools have access to one editing suite, which was very, very, very basic. Like, put it this way, what you can do in a basic iMovie these days is worlds apart what you were able to do with that editing suite. But I had that interest, and it got me kind of thinking about those things at very, very early age. Music, I always had an interest on it, but I also had interest on the technology side of it, like tinkering with all the equipment and everything. And little did I know that became a huge part of like organizing the tours. I had to figure out the sound systems, and trust me, more than I'd like to even care to count, I've been on the road fixing things that something's gone wrong. And in a great fancy world, in those tours, you've got equipment, replacement equipment. In the real world of the working class musicians, you can't afford to have it, or you can't afford to transport back up for everything. So yes, you do have to learn how to fix little things on the go. There has been shows that weren't going to happen unless I had those skills, but I picked them up along the way. So there you go. My very first electric guitar, it was a little treasure for me for a little while. But then I got a second guitar, and as soon as I got the second guitar, the first one, I took it apart. I opened it up. I looked what's inside of it. I figured out how everything works. I figured out like how to solder things and change pickups and everything. I did that at a very young age, and I'm so grateful about that. And it's any profession these days. Like, nobody is looking for somebody to do a one job. And that's the whole thing. Like, all our jobs are going to change in the future. Like, we might not be, your job might not be 9 to 5 one thing. You might be doing several different things. That old model of those dreams that you dreamed about, I'm sorry, but it's fading. It's changing. It's not going to be the same thing 10 years from now. Because if you look back even 10 years, it's changed completely. What the song is trying to get at, that look, you feel frustrated, you feel disappointed because you had these dreams that were kind of almost pushed on you. But now it's okay to let go of those dreams and mold them into something that is actually yours. You can't force anybody else to fit, to turn into something else. So why should you? Like, make it your own dream, and don't be scared to dream big. Dream big. We live in a time that, weirdly enough, if we're lucky enough to be born in a society like ours, that you have access to internet, you have access to basic technical tools, starting from as simple as your mobile phone. You can do amazing things. So don't be scared to dream big. That's what this song is called. So have a little faith. So have a little faith. Have a little faith in yourself and your abilities. I see every day these people online doing amazing things, whether it's just like taking pictures on Instagram, loading up videos with the most basics of setups, but they're doing it. And you know what, every video gets just tiny bit better, and it's amazing. I love seeing people doing that, going after their dreams and making it happen. And I hope more and more and more of you guys have the courage to do that. I know it does take courage, and I've been thinking about the kind of your own comfort zones a lot lately, and how by pushing yourself out of that comfort zone, you can really make great things happen. So don't be scared to do that. Push yourself. You know, if it starts feeling a little bit uncomfortable, just see what happens if you just stick with it for a little bit longer. These are exciting times, and make the most of it. And don't let anybody else tell you, or don't get trapped in anybody else's dream. Like, be brave and dream big. You know, dream your own dreams and live in the world that is here today, not the world that the generations before us thought that we're going to be living, because that's not where we're going to be living. We're going to be living in a completely different world, and this world is changing every day. We don't know what's going to be in 10 years time. We don't know what's going to be in 20 years time. All we can do is do what feels right and dream big and go for it. You know, what's the worst thing that can happen? You might even succeed. So there you go. That's this week's song, Have a Little Faith. It's available on Bandcamp right now. Just go over there and you can download it. You can download it for free, or if you choose to pay something, you can name your own price. Either way, I just want you guys to have the song. Download it and let me know what you think of the song. Let me know if this subject somehow touches you, and if it does, or if you have some friends you think it might touch, please share the song on your social media. Share the blog post on my website. Share this video. Just spread the love. So there you go. That's this week's song. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. And talk to you guys soon. Okay, I just had a listen to this week's song again. And it's funny how, like, in the writing process, when you struggle with it, the self-doubt is kicking like pretty damn hard, and you know, then you record it, and because I do it so fast, it often is the same day that I write and record, and so the self-doubt is still obviously there. But once again, coming back and listening to it, and all those little moments of doubt that were there, suddenly they just, you just kind of go like, what was I thinking? That sounds great, you know? Yeah, very happy with this. So now it is going to be sent to be mastered, and then this week's song is done. Hey, baby, I don't want to waste your time, so take a seat and listen for a while. Even through your brave smile, I see shadow in the corner of your eye. A disappointment grows inside of you. I ask you, but the words ain't getting through. Like a clay, you thought you mold me into something new, but I'm stubborn as a rock through and through. Please don't give up on hope. Someday soon you're gonna run out of rope, and it can be hard to cope. Have a little faith in dreams.